Okay. Wow, that's new, the light on the wall. Used to have to rely on a wave from the window, which I could never see. All right, so now I will call this meeting to order. This is the Community Design Review Board of Maplewood, Minnesota. Today is April 19th. It is 6 o'clock p.m. The next item of business is the roll call, and I see that I am here. Jason and Tom, Jason Lammers, Tom Osmond, that makes a quorum. I understand we're going to have somebody else that will be showing up a little bit later on, but we can go ahead and conduct business. The next item is the approval of the agenda. Staff, any additions, changes, et cetera? No additions or changes. Okay. Any comments from the board?
No changes.
Okay.
I'll motion to approve the agenda for the CDRB meeting for Tuesday, April 19th.
Okay. We have a motion?
Second?
And we have a second. Motion from Jason and a second from Tom. Hearing no discussion, I will call this to a vote. All those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Unanimous. We move on. Approval of the minutes. Staff, any changes, et cetera?
No changes from staff.
Okay. Any comments from the board?
No comments from the board.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll motion to approve the minutes for the March 15th, 2022 Community Design Review Board.
Okay. Second. And we have a motion and a second. Again, Jason, followed by Tom. Any discussion? Hearing none, we will call that to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. That's unanimous as well. Next item is new business, comprehensive sign amendment, Kennard Professional Building at 3100 Kennard Street. Staff report, please.
All right. Good evening, Chair and Board.
And could you move your mic a little closer?
Certainly. Just waiting for do I have to get the PowerPoint up? Oh, there we go. All righty. Good evening, Chair and Board. Nice to see you again here in person. So our first item here is the comprehensive sign plan for 3100 Kennard Street, requesting approval for an amendment to an existing sign plan on the site. The building will have a new tenant moving in, the VA, and the VA is proposing to install one wall sign that requires an amendment to the property's sign plan to allow for the proposed sign's location, size, and lighting. The sign is 60 square feet, proposed to be on the north wall of the building. It's internally illuminated, and the lettering is 15 inches in height. The VA logo itself would be 3 feet in height. And I'll just make a note here. In the report, I did not include the... I'm sorry. What? Oh, okay. In the report, I did not include the size of the VA lettering. In the motion originally, I included allowing the lettering to be 15 inches in height. So I'm just making note of that. So if you do decide to include that as well, they are requesting the VA logo itself to be 3 feet in height. The outpatient clinic lettering is what would be 15 inches in height. The current plan only allows wall signs on the southeast facing elevation. It limits the letter size to 12 inches in height for that elevation and does not permit illuminated signs. This here is an aerial view or an overview of the site. You can see the building there, the existing tenant sign location on the southwest side of the building. That is where wall signs are currently only permitted, and they are proposing a sign to be on the north side of the building, just to the left of the entrance there if you're looking north. So here's a image of that site, or of that side of the building. You can see right there the middle. This doesn't have a laser. Where the middle portion kind of juts out, they're proposing to have it just off to the right, between the two windows sections. So there it is shown on the building. That is where they're proposing to have the sign. There's a day image and a night image, so you can see how it would be illuminated at night and what it would look like during the day. We did survey the surrounding properties, and I did receive one voicemail, and that was received after the report was prepared. A woman who lives off of Village Trail in Heritage Square. She won't be attending the meeting, but just wanted to say that she fully supports the request made by the VA. So that was really all there was to her voicemail. And that's why it was not included in your report, because I received it the day after. So with that, we can go through this, what the existing plan is and what we're proposing here, if you'd like. We're making a recommendation to approve the comprehensive sign plan amendment for the Kennard Professional Building. And then we've underlined the areas that we want to add and crossed out the areas we would like to remove. There's a few things in here that are more a matter of cleanup, but most of it is just in relation to what they are proposing. So number one, we are removing that first sentence because it specifically references a memo from when the plan was originally approved, which was included in your report. And then moving on, no changes proposed here. Number four, we are adding wall signs can be placed on the north side of the building and the southwest side of the building. And then on number five there, wall signs may be illuminated. And then going on to add wall sign lettering can be up to 15 inches in height, and the two-letter VA logo can be up to 3 feet in height. And then right before that, of course, crossing out the section that does not allow backlit signing, as it was called. And then right here is where they discuss the monument signs, changing Kennard to street. That's just more a matter of correcting something. And then where it talks about all lettering material will be cast metal with the baked enamel finish and not be backlit again. So those are the proposed changes from the applicant, and staff is recommending approval. And with that, happy to address any questions that you have. And we do have some representatives here from MSP Commercial and the VA to address any questions as well.
Okay. What are the hours of illumination for the sign?
That's not something that, has been discussed, but that's something we could discuss.
That'd be for the applicant?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Any other question for staff with us? Would the applicant like to come forward? And you might, well, and please give your name and, for the record, name and address for the record. Do they still need to sign in?
Yes.
Okay, and then please sign in.
Sure. My name is Rob Loftus with MSP Commercial, and I represent the Kennard Professional Building LLC, the ownership entity for the building. So we originally developed the building back in 2005. And with respect to the illumination times, that right now is open for agreement both with the VA and with you. Our original thought was that the sign might be illuminated throughout the entire evening, but we will have a clock on that time, so we can set it even to the hours of the VA or shortly thereafter, shut down at 10 o'clock, turn back on at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., that sort of thing.
What are your hours of business?
So the typical hours for the clinic are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You might as well just stay up here and continue to sign in. Any other questions for the applicant?
I mean, I don't really have any questions. I think, I can't recall, staff, if we've put time limits on building signage that are kind of in or near residential areas. More of a question to staff. Have we included that in recent sign plan amendments?
Chair and board, yes. I'm thinking in particular of obviously more intensive commercial type situations that are across the street from residential
Yeah.
projects. So there have been situations where we've limited the illumination of signage.
Yeah, I know when we had the Holiday gas station store, but there was literally a residential houses like directly across the street from that.
This appears to have quite, how many feet between the sign and the nearest residential area would it be?
I mean,
Because it appears to be a pretty,
it would be, that sign's like right here. Yeah, so,
Chair and board, there is residential directly north on the other,
Side of the-
it's not shown on here, but actually, I have an aerial view. There we go. That's better. So you can see
it's all the
directly to the
way,
north.
all the way across the parking lot.
That's
yeah,
correct.
but- So the question is there already parking lot lighting in there that's on late at night that already would be, as far as probably illumination?
Yeah.
If it's, there's a difference between the actual verbiage and actually lighting, that the residents might already have light from the
I mean,
parking lot,
this-
depending on
this-
what it is.
I can
It
answer
looks
that
like
for you.
one townhouse to the west would be affected by this.
Yeah, just like
Just that
maybe
one, I think.
barely.
And nobody's spoken up, so,
Yeah, I don't know that I'm concerned with the
okay.
directionality of the lighting on this one, to put a time limit in there. I don't have any other further questions for the applicant. It seems like an attractive
Yeah,
placement of the sign on the building, and the language improvements look good. I would make a motion to approve the sign plan amendment for the Kennard Professional Building at 3100 Kennard Street with the conditions outlined by staff, items 1 through 6.
Chair and board, I'll just request that you would add to that motion that the VA, the two letters of the VA logo would be allowed to be up to 3 feet in height.
Okay. And that would be under item 5?
Correct.
Does that need to be in the form of a motion?
It's just, the reason being is that it wasn't in
I
the
know,
report originally, but it's, and so, yes, it would be nice if you would do that. I think that's
Okay,
the
But
best
you can't
route.
make the motion,
I'm
so
gonna adjust my motion.
you're gonna
Right.
amend your own motion.
So here it is. There.
Okay, very good. Then
be
I
up
I would like to
to-
add a friendly amendment to that, is that staff be aware of the illumination if they have any complaints from the neighbors about the lighting, that they work with it.
Certainly. That makes sense.
Okay, I can accept that amendment, and the language for the addition is that the wall sign lettering for the VA can be up to 3 feet in height under item 5.
I will second your modified motion and your friendly amendment to the motion.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second, and any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, we'll call that to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. That's unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Chairman, may I ask a question not related to the design, but just?
Sure.
I'm Bill Knutson, Maplewood City Council. I'm a liaison to this group, but I'm really interested in how much of the building is the VA going to occupy?
The building currently is 42,000 square feet, and the VA is going to occupy 33,000 square feet of that. So they're going to occupy the entire first floor and just over half of second floor.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I just want to congratulate you. I think the VA is going to be a great opportunity for the community.
We as well,
I used to have to pick up my dad in Amory, Wisconsin, and drive him to the big VA hospital for his visits years ago. So this was a great opportunity for all veterans, and I think that's really critical. And we're very, very happy to have it in Maplewood. So thank you.
Yeah, we're super happy as well, too. In the VA, it's going to be quite a showcase for them. This is going to be the largest community-based outpatient clinic of theirs, so it's a big feat for everybody to get pushed through by the end of this year. So,
And congratulations to
Thank you.
MSP as well.
thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Next item of business is unfinished business, which is the design review resolution for Maplewood Assisted Living, 1744 County Road D East. We did hear about that last month, and so staff, would you like to give us a report, maybe where you left off, et cetera?
Looks substantially improved.
All right. So moving on here to the Maplewood Assisted Living. We reviewed this in part last month. MX Real Estate is proposing to construct a one-story, 17,233 square foot building and operate a 20-unit assisted living facility on the property. This is again at 1744 County Road D. The site is just over 2 acres and currently vacant property. The applicant is requesting approval for design review as well as a conditional use permit amendment, which would amend the PUD for the site. So the current controls of the property, future land use guides the parcel for commercial, and the zoning is, again, part of that planned unit development up at Legacy Village. The comp plan guides the property for commercial uses, and combining residential, commercial, and employment and employment use like this, we think will complement the existing mix of uses in this neighborhood. So the Legacy Village PUD will be amended, would need to be amended in order to include these proposed project details. That was reviewed by the Planning Commission later on March 15th after we met. They did recommend approval of that amendment, so that is going on to the council next month. So we reviewed this with you on March 15th, and ultimately you requested that the applicant come back. The application was tabled and requested additional detail on landscaping, elevations, floor plan, and the site renderings. Specifically requesting that they look at adding architectural appeal with different siding materials, cultured stone that varies in height, screening of roof penetrations, and identifying the size of the individual living units. And the applicant has prepared updated plans for you to consider that addresses these items. I won't spend too much time on this because I know we've looked at it already, but it is situated towards the northern end of the site with access on both sides of the building, and the main entrance faces the residential properties to the south. There is a potential expansion of 10 units on the west side of the building. That would be required to come back to you for design review if they do proceed with that. So here's the site plan. And we can go through this again. They have updated the plan. If you recall, we had requested that they move the building to be 25 feet off of Bittersweet Lane on the east side there, across from Ashley Furniture. So on this new site plan, they did show that setback. They do achieve the 25 feet from the right-of-way with this here. They would still, if they proceed with the future addition, achieve setbacks as well on the west side. All other setbacks are achieved. Here is the floor plan information. Nothing has changed in the layout of the facility. They did identify the square footage. Let's see it, I know it's 200 and I should know that now. Oh, excuse me, 318 square feet
That's per unit?
per unit, correct.
Okay.
318 square feet per unit. Here is updated renderings of the elevations, excuse me. This is the south and east elevation. So looking at the main entrance, this is from the south looking north. You can see the entrance there. They've modified how that stone is placed around the lower portion of the building. The siding is, the material has changed to a manufactured wood lap siding. And they are illustrating those plumbing vents and where the vents will be for other mechanical equipment in the building. On the east elevation, you're seeing the garage door. Again, the cultured stone is varying in different spots along the elevation. They're also adding some vinyl siding and shingle style, like a batten siding up near the peak, which looks really nice. Here's another partial kind of zoomed in elevation of the south side of the building, and it, again, describes the materials there. The color is it's called Summit Blue, the cultured stone veneer, the wood trim, and the siding. Here's the north elevation. So this is looking from County Road D. If you're standing right in the middle of the road, looking towards the center of the site, there's that door there is a patio area that'll go into their dining area for the residents. And then the west elevation, this would be looking from Flandreau Street. And again, this would be where, if there was a potential addition, it would come off of that west side there. Here's the landscape plan. The landscaping plan has been updated to address the majority of the comments of our environmental staff. There's a few more that were included in that report, and we've added a condition that they address those remaining items that were mentioned on March 6th. Again, included in the report and included in the condition. So here is the site renderings that they've prepared. This is looking from County Road D, looking southwest. Again, they're showing a sign. This would, we would review that through our permit process, but they're showing a proposed location of a sign there, and the entrance on one of their entrances to the site, with the sidewalk and the trash enclosure as well, you can see here. And the view looking at the main entrance, you are looking northwest towards the parking lot and the main entrance of the building. So we discussed this last time. Our ordinance doesn't contain specific parking standards. I don't believe there was a major concern. I think we had a discussion about that just with the amount of staff and the residents that would be living there and the anticipated visitors. They are proposing 28 stalls and which includes 2 handicap stalls. And the lighting plan achieves city standards. It was 9 employees there with the 20 units just so we have a count of how many folks would be there. 9 would be at their busiest time. So with that, we'll move on to staff review. So the engineering report dated March 2nd, the environmental report dated March 2nd, and then the updated report dated April 6th. I think I said March 6th earlier. We're requiring that 2 stop signs be installed at the driveway exits, installing the sidewalk, and they're showing that on the renderings and the plan there on the southeast and west rights of way, and then obtain a license from the Minnesota Department of Health. We did survey the surrounding properties and sent the public hearing notices. We did receive one comment. In this case, it was right after the meeting we had our original meeting, just a few days after, and so that was included in this updated report. The design review application, we already went through this, tabled, being reviewed again tonight. The conditional use permit was reviewed by the Planning Commission on March 15th, and they recommended approval of that. And at this time, it would go to council on May 9th. So with that, staff is recommending approval of the design review and conditional use permit amendment. And we're happy to answer any questions that you have, and there is a group of individuals here that are here to represent the application.
Okay, thank you. Applicant, thank you for the updated plans. These, I had a bunch of questions, and my questions are all answered by the inclusion of what you've, of the packet you sent us.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board to staff?
I don't have any staff questions.
Okay. Would the applicant like to come forward? And please state your name and your address, and then sign in for the record.
My name is Mycia, and the address that I'm asking for approval, 1744 County Road D. MX Real Estate.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and sign in?
Okay.
Okay. You know, we have not had an in-person meeting in a really long time, and we've always really enjoyed looking at the samples. Could you bring those forward?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. I like those grays. They go nice with the blues.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
LP Smart side.
Okay,
LP Smart Side material,
okay.
and this is the roofing sample.
Okay.
Okay, so the part on the clip gable, that's this material right here?
Can be, yes.
Okay. So I thought that was gonna be vinyl, but it looks like you're not doing vinyl. Okay. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna set it down for you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is, no, I was wrong. Oh, sorry.
Looks good.
All right, thank you. It feels good to actually have building samples in our hands. So, any questions for the applicant?
I mean, I will say that just from what was presented to us last time and just not having a lot of clarity on what the specific materials were, I think the facade with the mixture of horizontal and vertical elements, it has a lot more life to it.
Okay.
With the lower windows, I think that the landscape plantings obviously are a little bit lower. There's going to be more perennials. So having that stone wainscot around the base of the building is going to still make this an attractive building year-round when those perennial plants are not in bloom and growing. I like the stone around the vent for the kitchen grease fans. I think that's a great addition. I mean, all around, I think that the combination of materials and the way it's been presented make it really easy to visualize what this building is going to look like when it gets built.
Thank you.
Yep, I have no objection to the way this is presented, so.
As far as site access and everything, I think we kind of discussed some of those items in pretty good depth last time. I think where the board was really lacking was the visual elements and being able to see the materials and really understand what the rendering of the building is going to look like. It's the last little spot in this area getting built out, so.
And I asked this last time, so I'll forget to ask them again, but so there's, as far as the use of the property, there's not gonna be, people who live there are not gonna be driving, so they're not, so the parking is only gonna be for staff people and visitors, there's no gonna be parking jam, okay, that was.
One question for air conditioning, where would the condenser be?
On that, I would have to ask.
Yeah, it's going to be one side of this elevation. It's going to be ground level.
Do I sign in? and my name is Ken
Oh,
Rivera.
I don't think you have to, they don't have to sign in, or he does.
Oh, I do.
Sign in, please. Like I said, we're out of practice. We've been on the screen for such a long time now.
Looks like the air conditioning units are individual unit mounts.
Oh,
Oh,
are they
yes.
individual air conditioners?
They are, they threw all air conditioning
All
units.
right.
All right, never mind. Question is answered.
And is the vent color on that, do you know what the vent color will be? Will it be white to match like your trim colors?
Usually you get a white or an almond color, or,
Okay.
Okay.
at the time, we can try to choose those, but we have white on the building, so I don't think it's gonna be that online, and then the stone.
The stone is
lighter
kind of,
colored stone as well, so. we try
yeah,
to
it'll
match
either be
that.
something in the stone mix or it'll be the
Right,
white.
Rose, yeah.
Okay,
That's acceptable to me.
okay. I have nothing else.
Make the motion?
I motion to approve.
So we're section 4.01 of, so if you go to page 27.
From 1 through,
Through item 13.
okay, I motion to approve to section 4.01 through 4.13.
Okay, I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second.
Motion and a second. And any further discussion?
I don't.
Hearing none, we will call this to a vote. All those in favor of approving this project signify by saying aye. Aye. That's unanimous. Congratulations, and thank you again.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Great work on the design improvements. The rendering is fantastic, whoever put that together.
All right, so then we've finished item F. Next is visitor presentations. I guess all the people in the gallery are with the applicant of the last project, so we have no visitors. Which reminds me, we haven't had a visitor in a really long time. Is this something we need to keep on the agenda?
Chair and board, so every commission uses the same template for their agenda, and namely the planning commission sometimes does have
Okay.
visitor presentations. So there's been a discussion about that, and yes, the decision was left, and landed on leaving visitor presentations
All
on
right,
all
it
agendas.
takes up no time, so I'm not going to stir anything up with that. I'm just something that kind of struck me. Board, any presentations? Anything from the board? Hearing none there. Staff presentations, anything?
No presentations from staff.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn the meeting for April 19th, CDRB.
I'll second the motion.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. We're out of here.